Welcome to That's What We Think with Connie and Steve. Hello, Steven.
Hi, Connie. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Every time we press start or to do this episode, we face each other. And what I notice when we're listening to the episodes is that your voice, you always sound happy. And I love
Well,
it. No, it always makes you smile because you're smiling.
could you imagine if I went, Welcome to
Oh,
That's What We Think with
oh.
Connie and Steve?
Yeah, we haven't reached that point of professionalism. Hey, did you hear what happened to Sid Seixeiro and the hosts of Breakfast TV?
No.
They're no longer doing it.
What?
Like it stopped. They're gone.
You're kidding.
Yeah, they're both gone. And there wasn't really an announcement or anything. They just both didn't appear on the show, and then later on, it said that they had been let go. Or at least that's what I heard or read. This was
Mm.
online, and I wasn't sure, so double check. CP2 just seemed just odd, you know.
Yeah.
No, I haven't been watching that
I
show.
know. Yeah.
Is he very vocal about things?
I think he is anti-Ford, but he is vocal on all sides. Like if somebody screws up,
He's vocal,
he's vocal.
right? Is she?
No, Meredith
Yeah.
is more lighthearted.
Okay. It's weird. It was
Um,
just a weird thing to see, and
yeah.
God knows. I mean,
So who was on it?
I didn't see it. I just read it. It's just been a weird day. I mean, this morning I was thinking to myself, I just want to wake up
Yeah.
and not have to hear anything crappy. For once, it's
Yeah.
only been 3 weeks.
I
And
know,
again,
and it feels like it's been 3 years.
I know it's like, are we back at this again? When Jim and I lived overseas in Budapest, he was in power. And I will tell you that one of the joys of being overseas was not having him at all.
Oh, to rule the
Oh my
media.
God, no, no, no. He was old news. It was wonderful just having a break and praying that Jim gets another job in Europe so we can get the hell away.
Yeah.
Oh man. But anyways,
Yeah.
um,
So I'm looking online, and it
yeah,
does say viewers of breakfast television woke up to a surprise on Monday morning. Co-hosts Sid Seixeiro and Meredith Shaw are no longer with the show.
yeah, just like that. And I
Mhm.
thought, well, whatever it was abrupt because usually they would have a retrospective or,
Yeah.
celebration. So whatever went down, well, we don't know, but
Devo Brown made the announcement on air Monday morning. Thank you for waking up with BT, Brown said. Wanted to share some news with all of you at home. Our colleagues Sid and Meredith are no longer with BT. They brought us plenty of great conversations, laughs, and unforgettable moments. We're grateful for everything they shared with all of us. We wish
yeah,
them the very best in what comes next. We know change is never easy, but over the 35 years of breakfast television has grown and evolved to bring you the best start to your day. So stay tuned. We have some exciting plans in the works that we'll share with you very, very soon.
interesting. Yeah. Well, from that news to good news, SNL is celebrating their 50th.
I
And do you
know.
see the roster they have? Like,
I know.
Eddie Murphy's coming back. That
I
is
know.
just,
It's so exciting. I
whoa.
cannot wait.
It is so huge. Like, so many different people are coming back on that show, but Eddie Murphy coming back, wow.
Yeah.
That's something. That's
Yeah.
going to be an unmissable, if that's not even a word. Oh, sorry about
Maybe
that.
we create some new words here.
Yeah, no, that's so not to be missed. That would be better. So today, I took your advice and I wrote down some of the things that we were talking about hot takes. Actually, this was an idea from your daughter, wasn't it?
It was actually my daughter's friend said we should do some hot takes on the show. So I was like,
Did you
okay.
do it? So you wrote down
I wrote down
your loves
mine.
and hates.
Wrote down 3 hates and 3 loves. Funny that I started with hate.
I started with love.
I wonder what that says about us.
I don't know, and usually I'm more grumpy. That's interesting. Wow. Okay. Well, what should we start with? Should we start with the lovey or the hatey?
Let's start with the hate.
Wow, one of the things I hate is gonna might upset some people, but all right, let's do it.
All right. Okay, this is a hot take,
Yep.
especially for those people who live in Toronto, because I know this is like a love of many Torontonians, but I absolutely hate Drake. I can't stand him, and
He
I
got
don't know.
roasted last
Oh,
night.
oh, yeah. Yes, and
That was
and to take that
at the
my
Super
hot
Bowl.
take a little further,
Yeah.
I prefer Kendrick Lamar to Drake.
Well, after that performance last night, I think your opinion is definitely in the majority. Jeez, that was whoa,
Yeah. Well, it's
amazing. It was an incredible performance, but
what's funny is when I told my girls that, this was gonna be one of my hot takes, they were like, "I don't think that's much of a hot take anymore, mom. Drake's not exactly
he's not
on the
it.
up and up, or he's not no one really likes him anymore." And I went, "Really?" I said,
Have you
"I've
all
always disliked him. I've always
okay,
disliked him. I
okay.
didn't think that he was a good singer." I'm
Yeah.
like, "His voice is not good at all."
Do you think he's a
And
good
yes,
actor?
no.
Interesting. So you don't like
No,
Drake.
didn't like him on Degrassi either. And the girls were saying that the biggest thing about him that most people dislike is the messages he was sending to the underage Millie Bobby Brown
Yeah.
and the 14-year-old Billie Eilish and Kylie Jenner. They were very groomy type of messages. For me, there was just something that made me cringe about him too.
There's an ick factor in there.
Yes.
Yeah. There's
And
the ick.
then when I hear that, I'm like,
Yeah.
my spidey senses.
Yeah. That's interesting. I had
Yeah,
no opinion on him. I don't at first I was proud because he's a Canadian and he like made it big. But then after all these stories, but particularly the Millie Bobby Brown stuff and
yeah,
that was like, okay. That's definitely not. Oh,
right.
yeah, you're right. Not good. That's
And it just
that's
bugs me that he has this whole thug life persona. Definitely, he did not come from a thug
he's
life.
from Forest Hill. There's
Exactly.
no thug in
Wealthy
his life.
parents.
God, he's about as thuggish as me.
Exactly.
Right? So, you
Yeah,
know, so
yeah.
like I totally side-eyed him. But I think what happened, there was remember there was this TV show back in the day on MTV, the prank show, and boy did his Canadian come out really quick because something happened with the cops or whatever it was. I think that was the story, but he reverted right back to Canadian boy. Gone was the thuggish talk that he is yeah, he's something. But I
Yeah,
have to say again, just a shout out to the Kendrick Lamar fans in the show. It was great. It really was. It was
yeah.
fantastic.
Okay,
Anyway,
I did
anyway,
not watch
all
the
right.
football game or the
I didn't watch the game. I
halftime
just
or
watched the halftime
anything.
show. Yeah.
Didn't watch any
No.
of it. I just read about it, and I heard that everyone loved the Kendrick Lamar show.
Oh my God. You're gonna laugh because we went from a really good hate to mine is so lame. I hate salads.
Salads?
Yes.
What?
Yes. I've never been a salad person. And there is one person who really has made me kind of reverse my opinion on salads. And that's my sister in law, Karen, because she makes the best salads in the world. I think she should have her own line of, I swear to God, of salads. She's that good. But she's the only one. In general, I hate salads. I just, every time I just, they're just not something I run to. Everyone goes, "Oh, would you like a salad?" No, no, I don't want a salad. I want meat. I do not want a salad.
There's no vegan
It's
bone in your body?
I no. Oh God, no. No, 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 no. And that's just me. Now that doesn't necessarily mean the world that you don't have to stop making me salad. You can, and I will eat it. I may not always enjoy it, but that's my feelings. There
So
you
what
go.
is it about her salads that make you change your mind about how you feel on salads?
Karen has this incredible ability to make flavors work together that you wouldn't necessarily think of, like, or you would think of, but it's just instinctive for her. So the whatever it is that she's making, from the dressings to the ingredients that she puts it in, it always comes out fantastic.
And
It's
is
so
it
good,
just a
so good.
regular, like,
Regular
green leaf
salads, green
salad?
leaves, or cabbage, or fennel, or like lots of different ingredients in there. Pomegranate seeds, like that sort of stuff. Like it's just it's nothing over the top
Well,
here.
no.
It's just she just has the ability to make it taste great every
Yeah.
time.
Well, an iceberg
Every time.
salad with cucumbers and tomatoes is kinda boring. Like, there's not much to it other than crunch.
Yeah.
right? But if you have your mixed greens and your
Eh,
homemade dressings,
well, hey, I guess we should plug in a pro Canadian dressing, Renee's, and it's pretty good.
yeah.
So that's my thoughts on why I hate salad. There, I hate it. Okay? All right.
Okay, so my next hate is a food one as well.
Okay. Good.
Again,
What is
all
it?
my Canadian people are gonna come at me and go, "Why?
What is it?
First drink and now this?" I absolutely hate
Yeah.
Nanaimo bars.
Oh, Connie.
I know it's a hot
Well,
take.
there goes your birthday gift. I'm joking. I'm not kidding.
Now I
Wow,
have to
really?
hand in my Canadian card, right? My passport.
Well,
I
okay.
like
What
butter
is it?
tarts, but
Yeah,
I don't like Nanaimo bars. I don't know, I just find they're
sweet.
so sweet that
Yeah,
there's no flavor. Like you
interesting.
like you can't I can't discern the flavors within it. All I'm tasting is sweet, and that's it. Like, I don't even know I can't even pick what it's made out of.
It's chocolate. There's
Chocolate and
chocolate.
what? What's
There's
the
a
yellow
coconut.
part?
Uh, God, I don't. I should know that, and I don't.
Is there
No, because I
coconut
don't
in
make
it?
it. I've never made it before, but I love them.
Oh, bleh.
It has custard. It was a custard and vanilla type of center. I thought so. There's three layers. It says the chocolate ganache, the custard, and then the base, which is coconut chocolate and cocoa powder and all squished together. Butter, yum, yum, yum. Like it's
Yuck.
just yum. It's so
No,
delicious.
maybe
Interesting. Nanaimo bars, eh? Wow. That's
no,
so
it's just
sad.
too sweet. And I
Oh,
love sweets.
me
A
too.
chocolate and candy girl, so
Interesting. All right. Well,
mhm.
mine's not food. Mine is physical stuff here, and this is driving. I hate to drive. I hate driving. I am not relaxed. I am not happy. I do not enjoy being around other idiots on the road. And in particular, these pavement princesses, and that's the term that's been coined for people that drive those big ass, stupid ass trucks that have no business being on the road or anywhere near highways or in the city of Toronto, period. Who needs a truck? Who in the city? I beg you, who? But anyways, that's my feeling. Like I find that for me, it's getting harder to manage being on the road these days because there's just a complete lack of following the rules, I suppose,
Yeah.
and it's getting more dangerous. And maybe I'm old. Yeah, I'm old, but I mean, I just don't find it at all appealing. I'd rather take the train.
It's funny
I
that you
hate
called
driving.
them pavement princesses because I was gonna say you'd rather be a, passenger princess.
Oh well, yeah. You should don't ask Jim that because he hates the fact that I'm a backseat driver. But even then I'm not relaxed, and it's because you're just constantly looking at people when they're driving and thinking, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What's happening? And don't tell me it hasn't gotten worse. Like,
I
come
don't know
on.
if it's gotten worse or if it's just there's more people on the road, so obviously
A
you're
and
gonna
B.
have more people that are going to be, not
Yeah,
nice,
no,
not
that's just me,
polite.
not a driver.
Yeah.
And
You know
that
what?
pavement princess statement did not come from me. I saw that on some posting or something like that about these truck drivers, and I had to laugh. I had to use it. I think it's brilliant. So
Yeah.
whoever came up with that term, credit to you. It's funny as hell.
Yeah, I always find that the pickup truck drivers to be very aggressive.
Stupidly so.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Where do you have to
You
go?
don't like the freedom though of driving, of being able to get into your car and just
No,
go wherever it is that you want?
no, no. I'd rather just no walk or get someone else to do it because I just no.
So how do
I
you
don't
feel
find
about
it.
public transit then?
I'm a huge supporter of it, but we in North America just absolutely suck at it.
Yes,
So
we do.
what should be a convenience has become a hassle. So you're stuck. You have to use a
Mhm.
car. So there's a resentment there, I think, for me on that part, having to rely on that just in order to get around. And especially since if you have, a disability or of any sort, it's just even far worse. But that's just my thought. There we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Huh.
my dislike.
I don't mind driving.
I know. I know.
I love a road trip.
You do?
Oh my God, there's something about a road trip. I dream of one day being able to have this road trip where I'm in like a caravan of different cars of either friends or my family, and we're all in different cars and we're all going to multiple destinations. And we get there and we have our little stop offs and our little breaks and everything, but we're all in these individual cars, maybe with walkie talkies. I don't even know if we need walkie talkies nowadays, but
Well, we got whoa, did you just age yourself?
that's what
I'm waiting for you to come up with the tin cans and the string between it next.
gosh, that would be so much fun. So you, as somebody who does not like driving,
Uh,
would hate that whole so you can't come on my
well,
trip.
I think no, that's not true. Well, now maybe, yeah. When I was a kid, I didn't mind it. And actually, and speaking of public transportation too, I read a comment from the fabulous Lisa, and she was just writing about how when we would sit together on the bus, and I love that too, Lisa. It was fun. We had each other on that freaking ridiculous bus. We had each other, thank God. But I think for me, the whole idea of being in the car for that long can be fine, but it's external stuff outside of it that makes it kind of unpleasant. And I don't
So
want
are
to
you do you get angry then?
on the road. Oh
Yeah.
hell yeah.
Really?
Yes. Ask Jim.
Yelling at the people that are
Yes. Yes, I am. He says I have to be careful because one day I might take my cane and hurt somebody with it. Anyways. Yeah, go on.
So
Yeah,
so
what's
my
yours?
thing that I
What's the
always
third
tell
one?
my daughters
Yep.
is I always say, when you're dating somebody,
Yeah.
have them drive you somewhere in downtown Toronto in bad traffic so
Oh
you
no.
can see how they react. Because if they get really aggressive, I said, you don't want
Ah,
that energy near you.
oh my god, that's funny.
That's my dating advice. Have them drive in traffic and watch how they react and how they respond to terrible drivers.
Oh, well, they would be fine with me because I don't like I yell, but I don't like I'm not like right up rammed up against somebody's back bumper or anything like that because I'm a graduate of Young Drivers Canada, so I still have it in my head to keep that distance. But I think it's just I get more angry just at the idea that people aren't respecting the rules of the road, and it's
Right.
not that hard, and that's what bothers me a
Yes.
lot,
But you know
a
that
lot.
yelling at them in your car is not going to
It doesn't do
change their.
shit. I know, but sure makes me feel better.
Does it?
There you You gotta take your aggression out some way. Either that or blast the music and sing really loud.
Exactly.
Anyway, what's your third one, Miss Connie?
Okay.
What is it?
Literally handing in my Canadian passport with
Is
this
it
one.
another one? What are you
It
doing?
is. It's all like Canadiana stuff that I don't like.
What's the matter with
I don't
you?
know.
What's
And I
happening?
love Canada.
And we're supposed to be pro Canada here, lady.
Am pro Canada. There's
Okay,
just some
okay,
things that I don't like.
okay. All right. Well, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Watching a live hockey game, like watching the Leafs.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
I cannot stand it. The
Oh,
very first time
Connie.
that I went, all I
Yeah,
heard were the skates, the of skates on the ice.
yeah,
There was no commentary
yeah.
telling me what's going on. Like, when you're watching it on TV and you hear the
Yes.
announcer
Yeah.
telling you what's happening and who has the
Yes.
puck and all that. No, I have to guess it myself. So
Connie.
I have no clue who has what or what's going on or if there's an offside happening, or I know when somebody scores a goal sometimes.
So okay. So the physical environment, is it the seats too? Are you uncomfortable there? Is it the people? Because it's
It's
like you're
Oh
in
my
this
god, there's
environment.
so many levels of my hatred for it. So,
Wow. So
okay,
how
so
long?
it's
How,
probably because of going to see a Toronto game.
okay.
Maybe. No, and that's not true either because I used to watch my son play hockey,
Right.
and stuff like that, and didn't like that either. That's for different reasons because I didn't like seeing my son get hurt.
I just have this picture of you flying onto the ice. Stay away from my son.
Well, okay. So
You did?
this is what happened. He's playing
Oh
hockey.
no.
And for whatever reason, the universe at this very moment decides to make me look for my keys in my purse. Like, why would I need to look for my keys in my purse? I know my keys are in my purse, but I turn around and I look for my keys in my purse. And while I'm doing that, something happens on the ice. I look
Right.
up and all of a sudden I see this body lying flat on the ice. I don't know who it is because I can't see that far.
Right.
It ends up being Jack. So I obviously go run around to see what's going on.
Of
He
course.
slowly gets up. When he finally gets off the ice
Yeah.
and we're going home and we're walking through the parking lot, he's walking, but he's veering to the left. And I'm holding him so that he could walk straight. We get into the car. He sits down in the car and I start the car. I'm like, "You're okay. You're okay." And he's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." And then he's like, "I can't feel my legs." And I said, "What do you mean you
God.
can't feel your legs?" He couldn't feel his legs. I flew. I was literally going 100 in the city streets
I
to the
believe you.
hospital
Yep.
to get him to the hospital. Every light I got was green.
Oh my God.
I got him there. I
Yeah.
carried my giant child
I believe you.
out of the car
Yep.
into the very first wheelchair that I could find because he couldn't now at this point he couldn't feel up to his
Holy,
chest.
holy.
Carry him into the thing, wheel him in, get him to triage, get him to the doctor, get him in right away. I mean, everyone complaining about our health care, and he got in right away. And then as soon as the doctor saw him and everything, then I started bawling my eyes out. But I said to him, I said, "Are you so proud of me? I held it together until" so only to find out that
What the
the
hell happened?
coach
Yeah.
of the opposite team, of the opposing team,
Yeah.
told one of his guys
To
to
go
go
after.
after Jack. Jack didn't even have the puck. And he went after him with his elbow or his stick or something. He hit him in the head.
Oh
Anyways,
my
Jack
God.
had a really bad concussion from that. And so
Oh,
yeah, so that
oh,
taints it a little
Connie.
bit. But
That
back
that would
to
taint it quite a bit
yeah,
there. That's a
yeah.
horrible story.
Oh,
Holy
it was so
crap.
bad. And I mean,
Oh,
thank
poor
God he
Jack.
was fine. It wasn't his last concussion.
Oh my God.
Um, but yeah. So
Now, okay.
now
Okay.
going back to regular hockey,
Yeah.
you're at the ACC watching a game, surrounded by, and I mean, we've always had really good seats because David gets them from work. So we get platinum seats, we get
Yeah.
in a good section. And we've also had the box and we've also had crappy seats. I've gone many times. The good seats you can see really well in.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And you're surrounded by people in suits who
Yeah.
are doing nothing
It's pretty
but
quiet sometimes
looking
in
at their
there.
phones.
Yeah.
No one's cheering.
Nope.
There's it's like a dead zone. I'm like, "This is so boring."
It's a
So
corporate. It's
boring.
corporate.
It's just like, this is
Yeah.
not fun. You are up in the cheap seats where families can almost afford. Those cheap seats aren't what I would call cheap.
No.
And
Nothing in there
there's
is cheap.
no, there's
Yeah.
some cheering going on, but still not a
It's a
lot.
smattering of
Yes.
noise every once in a right? Like
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
it is you're absolutely right. There's absolutely that atmosphere in there
Yeah,
until
it's
they
very
start to move and win and start,
and
you know,
even then, I
even
mean,
then,
we've seen some good games where, they were winning and everything, and it was just I was like, "This is the most boring thing ever." I didn't mind when we were in the box because then there's drinks and there's food.
yeah.
So that I could entertain myself with the other people that were in the box and not have to worry about the game or lack thereof.
Oh, let me ask you this. Why did you go if you did not and now because this is a serious hate because you've actually listed it,
Yeah, I have
why on earth
various
did
reasons.
you go? Because honey, I would have taken those tickets from you in a heartbeat.
Well, see, when you have 4 kids
Yes.
and this is your date night, you take whatever you can take.
Fair enough.
And if it means going to a hockey game, I guess you're going on a hockey game.
I'm picturing your face. I can actually now I get to see Connie and she's smiling and laughing and I love it. But I've also seen Connie when she's not smiling and
Yeah.
laughing. So I'm just picturing this woman sitting there for 2 hours and looking at her watch, looking at David, looking at her watch, looking at everyone around her, thinking, Jesus, how do I get out of this?
Yes.
How?
Yeah. Now
Oh, come on. Did you
juxtapose
ever have
that.
fun? Ever?
No.
Okay.
Like I
No.
said, if I
Okay.
when I've been in the
Okay.
box, I have had an okay time.
Okay.
Now
Okay.
juxtapose that to going to a basketball game,
Yeah. Those are exciting
and
too.
a basketball game is so fun, and there's
It's an
music,
entirely
and
different
there's
environment.
dancing,
Yeah.
and there's, like, the people around you are all jostling, and, like,
Yeah.
they're having a good time,
That's
and,
true.
I mean, and we had great seats with that too, so it was
Us too.
just, like,
You're right. I
so
forgot about that.
yeah.
We even got to go. God, we're bringing back to Drake. He has a private bar in ACC that he co-owns, I believe. So we got to go in there after the game, which was fun. I mean, it was really fun. But you're right. This is an entirely different thing when you're at a Raptors game. It
Yeah.
is. It's
It's
yeah.
fun.
It's fun. It's exciting. You're in it. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong. I love
It's
hockey games
fast.
too. It's just quieter. That's all.
Yeah.
I
It's
know. I get it.
boring.
Fair enough.
Again,
It's
I guess I have to hand in my passport
you
because
don't.
Drake, Nanaimo Bars, hockey.
Oh my God, it's true. But your hockey stories are tinged with sadness and and horrible shit. Poor Jack.
I
That's all I'm
know.
thinking about. God, how long did he play for?
That long. I really didn't want him to play.
I know. I believe you. I
Yeah,
believe
I
that.
really didn't want him to play. It's much like I wouldn't want my son to play or any of my kids to play football or
His concussions.
rugby. It's the concussions thing. You need your brain for your
You do.
entire life, not
Yeah,
just that short period of when you get to play.
I know. That's why even now with boxing,
Yeah.
all I think about is you're young now. I've seen what people look like when they're older,
Yeah.
and have been boxing for most of their lives. It is not pretty at
Mm.
all.
No, you can see it in their
You know,
speech.
it's so sad.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, that's fair. So my final dislike or hate is it's kind of a serious one, and it's rheumatoid arthritis. I hate having
Um,
rheumatoid arthritis. I
I
hate
don't
it.
blame
I
you.
hate it. Now,
I
we
hate
can
it
look at the
for you.
positive. We can try to be an advocate, and I am for anybody that has it. My heart and everything goes out to all of us that have this particular disease.
Yeah.
It is not a simple case of arthritis. It is a serious deformation of you,
No,
and
it's not
everything
arthritis at
changes.
all, actually, from when you told me about it and I read up on it. Arthritis is your joints and
That's right.
whatnot. Rheumatoid arthritis is your organs and
It's
everything is
everything,
affected by it.
all of it. And I've had this for 13 years, and it's been a struggle, a serious struggle. I've had hip surgery. I've had, my hands are all screwed up, and it's been awful. And the thing is that when you see me, if you see me as you do, you would never think anything because you don't see it. You can't see it unless you look. And then when you look and explaining it to people and talking about it, people won't understand it. They just don't because it's all internal. The pain is constant, like it's always, always there. And you and I have talked about this in terms of how it starts. There's been so many studies and discussions about it. You and I have talked about, we think that, trauma, it could be a trauma response too, which I believe that plays into it. Your mental health is extremely important, everybody,
Yes.
because it affects you more than you think. But I will say that I'm just glad that I have incredible support. I've got my family, my incredible partner, my best friends, all of you guys. Like that's helped, but it's a very singular journey, and it's lonely, and that's the hard part. It's incredibly lonely, but you know,
Yeah.
get through it. I'm
Yeah.
trying.
In what way do you find it lonely? Explain the loneliness aspect of it.
The loneliness is exactly what I was saying about telling people that you're not feeling good.
Mm,
They don't they can't you can't feel it or see it unless you're going through it.
right.
And I don't probably do a very good job of trying to explain it because I try and hide it so that I don't get pity or anyone saying, "Oh, you poor thing," or anyone changing their viewpoint of what I can and cannot do. And I hate that part the most. Simply because I have this doesn't necessarily mean I can't do stuff. It just means it's harder. That's all. But when I can't do it, then I really can't do it. And it's really an ego thing for me, I suppose. I just don't want, I want it to be normal, even though it really isn't.
Right.
I want understanding, but I also don't want pity. And I want to be normal
Yeah.
sometimes. Waking up feeling normal would be nice.
So
It's
when you
hard.
wake up, how do you feel?
I, until I had this medication, which has helped a lot in terms of the pain. Before, if I had to go somewhere, say I had an appointment for 10 o'clock, I'd have to wake up at 7 or 8 just to give my body enough time to get over the horrific aches and pains, be able to stand up, be able to walk to get to the bathroom, which is shocking, isn't that? It's like I'm 53 and I had trouble walking to go to the bathroom. And some days I couldn't. Jim would have to help me up the stairs, help me down, like all those type of things. It's better now because it's a little bit more under control, but it's still there. It's just buried. Um, but yeah, it's the extra time that you take that people just jump up, go in the shower, off you go. No, no,
Right.
no. It's not like that at
Yeah.
all. It's a process and it's exhausting.
Yeah. Oh, I can
I think,
imagine.
yeah. So
I
that's
can
why I
imagine. I mean,
hate.
it's bad enough. It's bad enough when you're, you turn 50 and you get out of bed and, your feet kind of cring. Those first few steps, you have to get oiled again, right?
Absolutely.
But this is like that
This
on
is yeah.
steroids.
This was when my right hip, I had to get a hip replacement. And prior to that, it was so bad. Like I can't get over the difference now that I've had the surgery compared to what was before.
Wow.
And I tried to keep it on the down low in regards to how I was feeling this pain, but it was so debilitating. And I'm crying about it. Like I'm like I was in tears a lot because of the pain. And you can't tell people. And that was the hardest part, more than the pain. I found was just trying to get people to understand my point of view. However, also I can take blame for that by not being able to explain it in a way that most people would understand.
Right.
So that's on me, and I take full responsibility for that. So yeah, so that's my hate. That's a
Yeah.
big one.
And it's a good hate.
Yeah, it's crazy. I look back at my old life, and we talk about our life in school and everything else, and I modeled for God's sake. I was able to walk a runway. Hell, I can't do that now.
Yeah.
If
You
I
could
tripped,
walk the runway.
if I tripped and fell, I wouldn't be able to get up. That's my thing.
There are a lot of those
Oh,
models that trip and fall on that
yeah. Well,
runway.
yeah, but they're able to get up in 5 seconds. I'd be like
Yeah.
still down on the ground crawling. But
You
but
just turn it into like one of those sexy
I
catwalks
oh my god.
on your hands and knees.
I laugh at that. But it changes you in so many ways, but I still I think if there was something that came around, like some magical being and said, "Hey, if you could redo your life, would you do it differently?" My answer is no. Every experience that we've done, I'd stick to it. I
Why?
don't want it because
What
it's
do you
part of
think
my
you've
life.
learned? But what has it taught you about yourself that you think you wouldn't have learned
It's
otherwise?
it's taught me that I'm much stronger than I thought because when you're dealing with this level of pain, I think that that's taught me a little bit more about pain tolerance.
Yeah.
Now, what about you? This is your last take.
I said all my
You did say
hates.
it?
Yes.
I thought you did.
Drake, Nanaimo, and hockey.
Wow, it really was an anti-Canadian hatred. Wow. If you had said, I hate butter tarts, I don't know if we could be able to continue this podcast because
Oh, I love
they,
butter
there
tarts.
would be people inundating this thing.
They'd be like, "We don't believe she's Canadian."
I know. All that stuff you said earlier means nothing. Butter
Yeah.
tarts.
No, no, no,
Oh,
I
wow.
love butter tarts. Mhm.
And I love this topic. I think
Yeah.
it's been interesting just getting to see a little bit more what's behind the eyes of Connie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I am Canadian,
she's very Canadian.
and I'm
Everybody,
proud
it's
to be Canadian. I just don't like a few Canadian things.
that's
Sue me.
okay. That is okay. Oh God, don't say that. Somebody will.
I
Do
think you can
not put it
sue
out there.
somebody for that. It's just an expression.
Well, I guarantee you, there's going to be people that will agree with with the Drake thing, that's for sure. The hockey
Yes.
game and the Nine Inch bars, maybe a little bit of pushback with that one, but the Drake thing is it's interesting with him. He's kind of disappeared, hasn't he? I guess he will now more than ever after Kendrick
I don't
Lamar's
know. I
show.
think supposedly he had dropped an album yesterday or the day before, just before Kendrick's appearance on kind of like, their
Yeah,
little
yeah.
rivalry that they're having or whatever, right? To kind of feed into that. And he had some video of him with a bunch of bullet holes and in his
Really?
shirt and smoke coming out from his back. And I'm like, my
I
eyes
know.
rolled so hard that they made a sound. I
You know
was
what's
just like,
really interesting though, Connie, is it's one thing for our generation. But it's quite another because his market is Abby and Evelyn and the younger set.
no, I
And
think
if
his
they
market
feel
is
that way,
more our generation
is it?
or just like the little bit younger than us, like,
Oh,
maybe not Gen X, but maybe millennials. I think that's who his
okay.
target audience is.
But the kids
Um,
don't seem to like him as much.
who?
Is that what you're like your kids? They
Oh, my
don't seem
kids
to.
can't stand Drake.
Interesting. Do they
Yeah,
like Kendrick?
I think so.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
my whole point of that was just who his audience is, and if
Yeah,
he's
I think
starting to
it's
get pushback, yikes, it's not
yeah,
good.
because there's a lot of people on in media that are just a little younger than us, not completely younger, but, that love him. So,
Do you know what's interesting? Remember how we talked about a couple of episodes back? We mentioned just talking about Bill Cosby for the rewind episode
right.
that we were talking about. And I had made a comment, I think, about not getting to know your heroes because they always may turn out to be more of a disappointment. And it's hard to separate the artist from the person. And I think it's happening with him right now.
Yeah, I do think there's a bit of that. And that really isn't even what makes me dislike him. It's just that he's not a good singer. He's his his
He had his
his
time.
voice is just like it's not I'm not going to have that in
quick,
there.
quick, somebody sample that, please. That's
It's
great.
it's just
Please do it again. That was awesome. You
I'm
sounded
trying to
like
think of the words to one of his
foghorn there for a
songs,
second.
and that's what he sounds like. It's not
Oh,
good.
oh my God, that was the best laugh ever. I needed that. That was great.
But, you're not gonna change my mind on the Nanaimo bars, the Drake,
Fair
or the
enough.
hockey,
Fair
so
enough. Or the driving, or the salads, except for Karen. She's the only person. And
and the
my
rheumatoid
Emma
arthritis,
Rumoid.
I hate it
Oh,
for you as well, so
thank you, my friend. Thank you.
you're very welcome. I wish my hate
And
could take it away from you.
me too. But miracles don't really tend to happen that way. So I'll just
No.
take the medication.
Yes.
And in the
Yes.
and the support, which I love.
Yeah.
So thank you, my friend.
You're very
And on
welcome.
that note,
And just because we dislike these things,
yeah,
that doesn't mean that everybody else has to,
that's right.
because this is, what we think,
That's right. That's the
and it
name of the
doesn't have
show.
to be what you think.
Yep.
But we'd love to hear what you think. So if you want, leave a comment at the bottom of this podcast, and we love reading them.
Oh, it's been great. It's been really cool.
Yeah, or reach
Thanks.
out to us
Thanks.
on any of our social medias as well.
Yeah, and thank you everyone that has taken the time just to comment. It actually means a lot to us.
It
Just just
does.
to just to know that what we're doing. It's our thing, and we've been enjoying this a lot. And if it's making other people enjoy it too, wow, that's amazing. So thank you. Thanks for the support. Right,
Yes.
Con?
Absolutely, 100%. It doesn't always have to be flattery. You
Oh
can
yeah.
tell us if you don't agree with us, let us know.
Or you
Love to
can
hear
keep it
that.
to
We have
yourself.
thick skin. Or yes, I guess you could.
You can keep that to yourself. But for the most part, no. Honestly, we want to hear from everyone and on anything. And if you've got your own likes or dislikes, let us know. We'd love to hear it.
Yes.
Hell, maybe we might do a show on people's responses to our dislikes and likes. But in the meantime, you can reach out to us. You can write to us via email at the Connie and Steve at gmail.com. And Connie's going to tell us where you can listen to us.
You can listen to us on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, YouTube Music,
Let us know what you think.
wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.
Yeah.
We're there.
Thanks. And thank you, Connie. I hope you have an amazing day.
Thank you. You too.
I love you.
Love
Talk
you
to you
too.
later.
Bye.
Bye.